All right, ladies, today it's all about exposing some very common but false beliefs about marriage. 4 common marriage myths, and you must know that these things are myths, even though they're widely accepted in our culture and in our society. And the first one is this, that there's this magical soulmate out there, the one and true only person where you'll just be magically connected. There's this one soulmate, and once you find them, the angels will sing, and you'll never have to even work at the relationship. It's just going to be perfect, and it's all about finding that one person, right? I don't see this mentioned anywhere in the Bible at all, that there's this one true soulmate, and when you find them, they'll just make you so very happy and you won't have to lift a finger. In fact, the Bible really teaches completely the opposite. It talks about in Philippians 2, listen to what it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself. Each of you should look not only to your own interest, but the interest of others." And then there's so many other verses that talk about us loving well, us loving others, us having compassion for others. We're supposed to love other people. It isn't all about me, and finding the perfect soulmate that will make me happy. Don't see that mentioned anywhere in the Bible. In fact, true joy comes from actually serving and blessing others. Jesus says it's better to give than to receive. So opposite of what our culture teaches. But there are 3 other marriage myths I want to relate to you so that you're in the know. The second one is that your husband is supposed to be your source of happiness. This is completely false. And if you buy into this myth that your husband is supposed to make you happy, you're going to be one of the most miserable women walking the face of the earth, because no human being is perfect. Your husband, even though he might be great, is not going to be a perfect husband to you at all times. He's occasionally going to disappoint you or frustrate you, or you guys will not see eye to eye on every single issue. And if you believe he is supposed to be your source of happiness, you are going to be so frustrated and resentful. Only Jesus is perfectly going to love you, and perfectly going to stay faithful to you, and perfectly going to be compassionate and empathetic and sympathetic and all those things that you're looking for. Only Jesus will never leave you nor forsake you. Only Jesus can be your perfect counselor and comforter. Yeah, you cannot put all the eggs in the basket of your husband and expect him to be the sole source of your happiness. Another myth that our culture teaches. A third myth, happy couples should never have conflict. That is also incorrect. Another myth. In fact, if you never have conflict with your husband, almost assuredly, one of you is disappearing in the relationship. One of you is a conflict avoider, and so you just don't really let your needs or your feelings or your desires be known because perhaps you fear conflict. Of course, 2 individual people are going to have some conflict if they're honest about their feelings and needs and perspectives, right? The thing is, we don't want to make it an ugly conflict. There is such thing as having a calm, peaceful discussion about areas in which we disagree. And then the 4th final myth that I want to expose is that if you find the right guy, everything in your life is going to be perfect, and your marriage will just be perfectly wonderful without you lifting a finger. It'll just happen. It'll just happen. No, actually, great marriages require effort and perseverance and intentionality, working at ways to bond together and to work together as partners and to work through difficult situations where maybe you do have a difference of opinion, working to have fun together because that's very bonding to marriage. All of this takes effort. So no, great marriages don't just happen. 4 marriage myths that you and I both need to realize.